Hello there, welcome back to Brilliant Minds. Today we're going to talk about a boy who reached for the stars. Literally, his name was Neil Armstrong, and he was the very first human to walk on the moon. Buckle up and get ready for a journey that takes us from cornfields to craters and beyond. Once upon a time, in a small town called Wapakoneta in the state of Ohio, USA, a baby boy was born on a warm summer day, August 5th, 1930. His name was Neil Alden Armstrong. From the moment he could crawl, Neil was fascinated by the sky. While other children looked down at their toys, Neil looked up, at the birds, the clouds, and especially the stars. By the time Neil was 5, he had his first ride in an airplane, and it changed his life. As the little plane soared through the sky, Neil's eyes sparkled. "I want to fly one of these one day," he whispered to himself. From that moment on, Neil's dreams grew wings. At home, Neil built model airplanes out of balsa wood and string. He read books about pilots and hung drawings of rockets on his bedroom walls. His bedroom looked more like a mini airport than a place to sleep. As he grew older, Neil worked hard at school, especially in maths and science. He learned how things fly, how engines work, and why rockets needed to be so powerful to escape Earth's gravity. But Neil wasn't just smart. He was calm, focused, and quietly determined. When things went wrong, he didn't panic. He stayed cool, thought things through, and tried again. By the age of 16, Neil had earned his pilot's license, before he even had a driver's license. While most teenagers were learning to drive cars, Neil was flying planes through the clouds. Not bad for a small-town kid, right? Later, he went to university to study aerospace engineering, and then he became a test pilot, flying brand new aircraft that had never been flown before. It was risky, but Neil loved it. He would often say, "I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats. I don't intend to waste any of mine." Then one day, something incredible happened. A new group called NASA, the people in charge of space exploration, was looking for astronauts. These were brave, skilled pilots who would travel into outer space. And Neil? He got the call. He trained and trained. He learned how to float in zero gravity, how to operate a spacecraft, and how to stay calm when things didn't go to plan. Neil joined a special mission called Apollo 11, which would do something no one had ever done before: land people on the moon. On July 16th, 1969, millions of people around the world held their breath as a giant rocket called Saturn V launched into space. Inside were 3 astronauts: Buzz Aldrin, Michael Collins, and of course, Neil Armstrong. For 4 days, they traveled through the darkness of space until finally they reached the moon. On July 20th, Neil climbed down a small ladder from the lunar module called Eagle, and with one careful step, he touched the dusty surface of the moon. His voice crackled through the radio. "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." People cheered. Some cried. Others just stared at their TVs in wonder. A human being was on the moon. And that human was the same boy who once built toy planes in his bedroom in Ohio. Neil and Buzz explored the moon's surface, collected rocks, planted a flag, and even bounced around like kangaroos because of the moon's low gravity. Then they returned safely to Earth, heroes forever. But do you know what made Neil truly special? It wasn't just walking on the moon. It was the years of quiet hard work, the patience, the bravery, and the never-ending curiosity that got him there. Neil Armstrong showed the world that if you keep learning, keep trying, and keep dreaming, there's no limit to where you can go, even all the way to the moon. Thank you so much for listening. We hope Neil's story reminds you that even the biggest dreams can start small, right in your bedroom, your school, or your backyard. So keep looking up, stay curious, and never stop exploring. Good night, and we'll see you next time for another amazing story.